It's cool, brother.
I told you. So we're about to go live here. We're about to go live.
That's the chat room we're about to enter.
I told you the chat room, the entire intent.
It's like a kumite.
It's a chat room kumite.
The chat room has somehow morphed into this room specifically for people to bag on me, and someone with self-confidence issues would really not make it through 1 week of this show.
All right, we're live.
All right, we should be live. All right, so I had a brief conversation with Chris before we got started, and like I said, this is just going to be super conversational. We did talk to a couple of the guys from Ironman, but having you on is going to be great tie-in to the Mojave Trail trip that we talked about. I expect that we'll get a couple people in the chat room that are part of that Mojave Trail trip. The background to that is we on a Monday night live feed like this, we put out the registration link, and within 15 minutes we had 30 rigs signed up and people on the waiting list. So nice. It's a great trip. It's an epic trip, and we're really, really looking forward to it. I'm super behind right now. Just so you know, Jose. So Jose and I had a conversation at work today about whether or not, working a full day and how we're going to do this. Matt has convinced me to pull rank and just not come in that day.
I took the day off. I took that Friday and the following Tuesday. So
it'd be a little too obvious if I did. Hey guys, I'm sick.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, Chris, like I said, we'll get started with super basic. I mean, a super straightforward introduction. We'll introduce you. What's your official title?
Oh no!
No, you went away again.
He's probably messing with us. That'd be
My
the
back?
best.
Now you're back. Now you're back.
I swear, Greg farted on my keyboard the other day, and I swear that's what's going on.
Hey, what you guys do outside of business
that
hours?
sounds like a team building exercise as far as I'm concerned.
I don't want any part of that team.
Or do you?
Or do I?
What's your official title? Okay, now it says you're muted. Okay, now you're not.
There we go. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, hopefully it works. Anyways, nice to meet you guys in a really weird, sort of mimey, awkward way there for the first few minutes.
Yeah. We'll. So we're starting to get people on the feed. Like I'd said on the show. Here's the way we'll do this. We'll count down. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, and introduce you, Ironman. We'll do our interview, and at the end of the conversation, I'll say, thanks a lot, man. Have a great night, but don't hang up because we'll have some post-conversation.
Okay.
Anything? You guys ready? It looks like the chat room is moving. F it. We are doing it live. Yeah, Casey says that you can't see Cody, and that's probably a good thing for everybody. Something's going on with my camera, and it is what it is. No one needs to see that. All right, you ready, Chris?
I'm ready to rock.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody! It is sometime after 6:30 on Monday night, which means we're live.
You know what? You're right.
It is sometime after 6:30 on Monday night on YouTube. We are live. For a while we had a good stretch of getting like the thing going at 6:30, but tonight we had some technical.
Because we didn't do anything last week.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
the cycle was broken.
Yeah, the cycle was broken.
It is, and I was gone for vacation, so the computer was off. So we have Chris Wagner sitting in what I can only assume is John Wayne's bedroom, hanging out with us on YouTube from Ironman 4x4 America. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm good. Nice to meet you, boys. I'm actually couldn't figure out where to call in from where I wouldn't have like the kids are feeding the cats Nerf darts and my wife's screaming at them, and so I was like, I'm actually going to get in my Humvee. So and John Boy here rides in the back with me, so I'm just
nice.
Hanging out in my.
So you've got
that's free access to HOV lanes.
Yes,
you have
John Wayne.
John Wayne cutout.
So he's in a Humvee with John Wayne. I can only describe that as probably the most masculine thing that's ever happened on this show.
You can't get any more America.
One end of the spectrum, that's for sure.
So minus the technical difficulties that we had early, thanks for hanging in there and jumping on the show. So we talked a little bit. We had a couple of the guys on from Ironman, I don't know, 20 episodes ago, 15 episodes ago.
Yep.
And then you guys participated in our winter expedition with some giveaway items and a raffle for a badass sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And you guys are participating in the Mojave Trail trip coming up with a raffle item and some giveaways. Tell me about you though. I mean, you and I haven't talked other than tonight. You know, tell me about you. First of all, Wags, right? You go by Wags, not Chris.
Yeah, I guess.
And I'm assuming it's not because you have a tail. I'm assuming the Wagner name has something to do with that.
Well, my brother-in-law Chris Miller, he works at Ironman too, and so people constantly call when we were both. You know, we've only been here in North America for just coming up on 2 years. So people calling, hey, I want to talk to Chris. And for some reason, it seemed like every time somebody called that was mad, he'd be like, hey, the phone's for you. I'm like, no, they're calling to talk to you, dude. And so I would just constantly take all these angry, no, I'm kidding. Actually, not too many people were too hot. So his last name's Miller. I keep telling him, I've known him a long time. I'm like, just go by Miller, please stop going by, you know, we want to have like Team Chris shirts made too eventually. So, but anyway, so Wags just kind of developed out of necessity at the office.
So Mills didn't catch on?
No, although Milgner did. People, I don't know, how do you confuse Wagner and Miller? People, they're you know.
I talked to a guy there, Milger, Wagler. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys have Mod Pizza down there?
Yes.
So we did walk in to Mod Pizza the other day for lunch, and they're like, "Can I get a name?" And he's in front of me, and I'm going, "He's gonna do it. He's gonna say Chris," and then I'm gonna have to, you know. And then he goes Miller, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, after 15 years of knowing him, he finally is catching on." And they get to me, they go, "Can I get your name?" I go, "Yeah, it's Milgner." I'm like, it spells like it sounds. And,
so have you been with Ironman for those whole 2 years that you guys came on, started in the States here? Yeah.
So I think Luke came on.
Yep.
Big thank you to Luke for not telling me. And
the background of this real quick is, so going back and forth with Greg from Ironman about getting ready for Mojave and this and that. And he said, hey, I'd like you guys to interview Wags. It'd be a great conversation. It'd be great. Chris tells me today, he's like, yeah, Greg comes in and says, these guys want to interview you. You need to go on their show.
I'm like, okay, maybe email me some stuff I'm supposed to know.
So he was totally set up for failure. I bet Greg and Luke are sitting back right now watching the live feed, just waiting for this all to blow up, I think.
I think he totally set me up. But like I said, he farted on my keyboard, but the joke's on him. He got pink eye out of the deal. So I don't know how I survived it, but anyways, yeah. So yeah, Greg's a stud. He's our marketing director. Like 2 years ago, Luke, Miller, and myself kind of got together with Ironman. I mean, we've been huge fans of the brand for a long time, but over the past 10 years, you really got to fork out cash up front and wait your 12 to 14 weeks to get it over, the ocean. And unless you got a really good jet ski. So we just knew that Ironman would be huge here. A lot of us ran it on different rigs, landcruisers, stuff like that. I actually have LCR 30 coil spacers on top of my Humvee springs because we were sitting around. I was doing something on my Humvee, and Miller's like, dude, those look like about the same dimensions as 80 series springs. I'm like, no, there's no way. These things are like freight car springs. And he's like, no, I'm serious. So crammed them in there. My Humvee sits 1.5 inches high, or actually 2 inches higher, and it rides awesome. So anyways, but we knew Ironman would be huge. And so we kind of had other careers that we stepped away from and kind of took a big risk, but it was a lot of fun. And then working with Tom, the owner, and Sam, his son, they've just been like 100% behind us, backed us. And so what started as something kind of small just has really exploded. So even in the past 2 years, it's just been crazy. And we're already moving into like a big distribution center just a few miles away.
There's a lot of distribution centers down here in Eastville where I'm at. I'm just saying, like right around the corner. I can scope some out for you if you need to expand the Southern California division.
Network,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talks. We're I think next up's going to be East Coast for sure. There's just
nobody goes off roading on the East Coast.
Yeah, bro.
You know what? Surprisingly,
look. Once you get past the Rocky Mountains, there ain't nothing over there but dog sleds and mush. Like it's
mud.
I've never wheeled over there, but I think it's all like kind of pay to play, isn't it? A lot of the parks.
A lot of it is parks, and we've interviewed private land. We've interviewed the Express Rally guys and some of the people up in the Great Lakes area, and there's definitely wheeling. It's just a different feel than what we have here in the Southwest.
It's spread out. It's not like you can just go an hour out of your way and then just hit BLM. Like there's no BLM over there.
No, we're super spoiled here and super fortunate. So going back to the Ironman stuff, I mean, in having the conversation with the guys previously, I remember that, the desire to bring the brand here. From your perspective, what was the biggest obstacle in getting Ironman across the ocean, like you said, to be able to start, establishing footprint here in the States?
Well, if I could maybe narrow it down, it'd be I don't know, everything.
Like an ocean?
Yeah.
A giant ocean. Tariffs, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh.
No, you really, look, I mean, it was kind of simple for us, which is kind of my role at Ironman. I keep it extremely simple, but they still let me wear my t-shirt and show up every day. So that's good. We knew that I guess what kind of blew me away about Ironman was, we're not like maybe like the prettiest, glitziest stuff. We like Icon, I like King, I like Fox, I like all those guys. Like they make great products and they're beautiful to look at. But Ironman makes some good looking stuff too, but they care about like durability. And, I guess everything's from the design side and engineering side is, if you're out in the Simpson Desert 3 weeks out, we don't have anything like that here.
Yeah.
So far out where there's there's nothing. If you break down, if you didn't bring it, you're huffing it back.
There's probably a Walmart though, like probably within 15
probably
minutes.
A Walmart.
I mean, let's be honest. There's probably a Walmart.
Well, I mean, you say
and a Dollar Tree.
You say Simpson Desert, I say Nebraska. I mean, at that point, like, what is there in Nebraska? You can't just stop as cornfields as far as you can see.
So I don't know. I mean, it's just the stuff that Ironman makes is so overly engineered and robust. I mean, one thing, I don't know, like again, kind of inside baseball stuff, but we have a 3-year warranty on all of our suspension, which kind of makes me chuckle because like I would assume like working for Ironman, I would be having warranties come in and I'd be having to oh, sorry, we'll fix it. We'll do whatever. We just don't get them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, and that's one thing it's like the best 3-year warranty ever. So when people call me, they're like, hey, we burned up a set of like a rear nitro shock because they parked over a campfire, melted the seals out. And then it's like 7 years old. And they're like, can you hook me up? I'm like, yes, like I'll give you a shock. I just want to see, like, what did you do to that shock? I want to see it.
He's like, has anybody seen the warranty form that we're supposed to fill out? And I don't even know where that's at. Like
that is some more truth than you realize. It's like, I have no idea. Like, just give the guy a shock. So, and thank you for destroying this.
But what we've talked about a lot is beyond the suspension, Ironman offers so many other lifestyle, camping, recovery, refrigerators, so many more components.
That's right. We were looking at refrigerators.
Yeah. Oh, I'm buying one. I'm gonna buy the compressor and I'm going to buy the refrigerator because I just blew out my compressor.
Oh, you did? Well, dude, don't buy one. Just call me.
Hey, so I heard about you guys 3 years ago when I bought my landcruiser. I started looking at just suspension stuff.
Yeah.
And your guys' stuff kept popping up, but it was in Australia, obviously. Yeah. I was like, man, like, I think there might have been like one distributor out here. And it I don't remember who it was, but I was just like, man, that looks pretty interesting. And like from reading forums and stuff, it's like, yeah, like the stuff just works and it works well. Like obviously it's not like a King or an Icon or you know, it's not built for desert racing. It's made to go out and get abused and get you home.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I don't know, like, again, I think we're just kind of simple guys. It's like, well, how do we communicate this? Like, what separates us from these other guys? So, you know, there's tons of marketing and that's great. It's like, if you can market it, that's how you make the donuts, I guess. But, you know, for us, you know, the big talk was, it's always just remote resis, bro, so many looks. I got my remote resis, bro, so many looks. And it's like, yeah, I mean, they're cool and they're awesome. And like, if I was going to build a pre-runner, I would absolutely do it. But I'd also make sure that my reservoirs were up in like open air and not like mounted to like inside, you know, a hot frame rail where you're just like, you know, and people don't get that you're not, you know, most overland safari touring, your suspension just kind of oscillates. You're not flexing it out. And, you know, you really need to like get the full stroke of your suspension.
I do.
Who the hell's what I'm talking about?
At my age, you don't even need the full stroke. It's like, that's good enough.
You'll take what you can get, huh?
You're good.
Ironman's perfect for us.
Yeah.
And the full strokes, I think, are playing Coachella next year.
Yes.
Boom.
Great band name. Yes, exactly. But anyways,
we got it all covered.
I mean, overlanding, I always tell people it's kind of like skipping rope, you know, and you're not doing box jumps, you're skipping rope. And that builds a ton of heat in your suspension. And so like our Foam Cell Pro stuff, that all came out of a military solution. We were doing a bunch of trucks like DOD guys, armored vehicles, a lot of land cruisers for like the UN and all these dignitary vehicles, and then a lot of contractors, and they were just killing their suspension. They couldn't figure out like, why are we fading the suspension on this stuff? And also like, we're driving over bombs, so we need stuff that'll hold up. So, you know, the foam cell stuff, not to get too far into the weeds on it, you know, it's different. So people they're like, foam cell, like nitrogen charge, whatever. But really what we're doing is we're putting, you know, it's like, okay, solve the problem, put cooling where the heat's being generated. So, you know, we've got the largest strut you can jam inside of a coil that you can bolt onto your truck. And there's no nitrogen in the thing. It's got a foam, like a microcellular foam sleeve. It almost looks like wetsuit material. And there's little teeny pockets of nitrogen in there. So the oil cannot aerate. It cannot, you know, mix or emulsify or anyway. So it just lasts forever. I mean, you'll never fade these things. You can go run BDRs and just, it's been a lot of fun.
No,
or through my wife going to Safeway, you know, in your Sequoia, you will never fade your suspension.
But this is exactly the type of thing, because I've looked at that and we've discussed that, like the foam cell, you know, well, there's no reservoir, but that makes a lot of sense. And that's something we've never discussed, is having to have like that full throw of your suspension to move the fluid, right? That makes a lot of sense to me now that you've said that. And, you know,
it's funny. I was looking at suspension, you know, years ago, and I was like, remote resis are really cool. You know, they should make, which again kills me that I didn't like come up with this idea, right? I'm really good at coming up with ideas after somebody else thinks.
Yeah, me too.
I came up with Dave and Buster's when I was 16 years old, and then they opened one here at the Ontario Mills Mall when I was 19. And I was super pissed.
It's you're a Renaissance man.
Yes,
Renaissance
absolutely.
Man. But anyways, you know, Fox now, like, I was like, why don't they have two hoses and make it like a circuit, so you just keep pumping, and then, you know, like this last year, Fox came out with them, and I'm just like, gosh dang it, man.
Yeah,
but good for them.
I mean, you know, look, the remote reservoir stuff is great and all, but that's just one more possible failure point. And if you just keep it simple with just a single
Yeah.
coilover or just a giant shock like they have like for my Land Cruiser, it just minimizes stuff that can go wrong where you don't want stuff to go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd mentioned, finding them when you had your Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
I first saw Ironman digging into that period of time where you're buried into YouTube watching Overland videos, and all of the guys in Australia in their not the Tacoma, the Hilux with the huge canopy on back with all the the full, you're like
the big trays.
Yes, like, and those guys are running all your stuff.
That kind of equates to like that Ferrari versus Ford thing. Back like where Ferrari was running.
Great movie.
It was a good movie, but like a high output, low CC motor, 12 cylinders runing at like just
a million RPM.
Exactly.
And
then Ford just went
2.8 liter.
Nope, cubic inches, baby. We're just gonna bludgeon you with cubic inches. Yeah, it's heavy.
I've tried bludgeoning someone with cubic inch and it just doesn't work.
That's when you got to switch to throw, dude.
I can't throw that cubic inch very far either.
You got to work angles and you got to switch your throw up,
dude. If the board doesn't work, then the stroke.
For whatever reason, I don't have the output necessary.
But that seems like a pretty apt comparison.
So you briefly touched on the fact that when you guys were going down the path of basically becoming the brand here in the States, all of you walked away from previous roles. What were you doing in a previous life before you hit the lottery?
Man, dude. Yeah, I did hit the lottery. And I'm like so thankful. But I actually I did half a career in law enforcement up here in the Portland area.
Okay. Oh. And you decided you were done with that, and I'm going to go play with trucks for a living.
Yeah, you never know how people take that anymore, especially up here in Portland. I mean,
we got to go. Sorry.
It's like
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either, but
yeah. I mean, it's like 10 miles away. It's like a war zone down there now. But I mean, look, when I left, things were still pretty good. I didn't leave because things were bad. Things were good. It's just had this awesome opportunity, and it was a huge blessing. And Luke and I have been friends for a long time, and then Miller and I, like Miller's background, he was like movie production stuff, and I mean he was back in the day we went to Oregon State together too, and then married sisters. But he used to like freelance for doing all the Oregon Trail rallies for ESPN, and he dragged me along with him, and he's like, oh yeah, this Pastrana, and then this other driver, Ken Block, nobody knows who he is. So it's kind of funny, like to meet, like Ken would just like talk to you, and because everybody wanted to hang out with Pastrana and stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of a funny story how everything kind of worked out. But
and I gotta correct you on something you just said. According to Luke in the chat room, that you're lying, that he was never friends with you.
Look, I didn't. Okay, my ancestors didn't flee his oppressive land.
Whoa, damn!
UK,
whoa!
Come here, and then to have him move across the street from me as my British overlord, and then hire me. And then rule over me.
Yeah, that's the only reason he hired you is because he wanted to continue the oppression. He wanted to just
strike, bro.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Where's the hunger strike?
Where's the chat room at? I'll fight him on this chat room.
This is gonna
devolve. This is gonna devolve into one of us needs to get our therapy badge so we can start working with these two now, guys.
You're gonna need to walk us off the.
Or it's gonna be.
Listen, I can sum up Luke in this. On 4th of July, when I'm putting up my American flag on my front porch, he yells across the street, "Happy Trader Day."
Wow.
Oh, that's the best. And you should say that we just upgraded. It was just upgrade day for us. We didn't want to deal with their crap anymore.
Yeah, well, I was watching something on Netflix with a comedian that said something that's pretty good. I said, look, you mess with America, we will wait whatever 270 years and send our B-rate actresses to steal your princes.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, that's those. We had a lot of fun with those guys too. I feel like just based on even the conversation that you and I had prior to you coming on the show, like it seems like you guys have a really fun working atmosphere. You're doing something that you're passionate about. You're working your butts off. You're building a brand, and you know, it sounds like I joked around about hitting the lottery, but it does seem like one of those, man, this is really one of those things where it's a once in a lifetime chance you can't pass up.
Yeah. And you know, Luke, log off. If he's watching, log off. I'm not going to say anything nice about you if you're monitoring, but no, like Luke is probably one of the smartest guys I know. I mean, really good businessman, a genius at marketing. And, we just kind of, became friends. And I think when things started to really kind of come together, we kind of grew up with some of the guys from The Gambler, and they're from Westland, and Miller went to high school with them and stuff. And we'd go to like Cars and Coffee down at the World of Speed. And they're like, well, why don't you help with the recovery? So I dragged the Humvee out and dragged people out of the ditch and stuff like that. But so Luke ended up going on one of the Gamblers, and we're like driving up Mount Hood Highway, and there's some poor dude broken down wearing like a leisure suit. I guess that was his theme. And he's walking back like on the side of the road, all dejected. And Luke has this water balloon and just hangs out the side of my Humvee. Hits this dude, but like right in the crotch. And this guy didn't even see it coming. And I was just like, dude, we're going like 40 miles an hour, which is as fast as my Humvee will go. And he was just like, whoa. But it was kind of cool because outside of Moppin, we pulled over to help some gal out, and it was broke down. And then we were throwing water balloons at all the Gambler cars kind of coming up over the hill. And Luke got hit in the face so hard with a water balloon from a guy in the car. It blew his glasses off of his face and just shattered him. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like he took a full-on punch. And then I was like, you know what? This British guy, all right.
He's not so bad.
Hey, do you guys know what the Gambler 500 is?
Yeah. We've
we talked about it.
We talked about it once on the show, and I think Casey was trying to get us to go up there and do it. Like, I mean, literally, we could have taken Casey's ZJ. It qualified for the $500 piece of shit and driven it up there and done it. But
it's worth it, and it doesn't. That's kind of. Like way back in the day, it was $500, 500 miles, but it's anything. I mean, there's people that took old like transit buses, like the kind that have the big accordion thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Somebody put a hot tub in the back of one of those, and so there's everything. You'll see. You just go. It's really.
We could even take Jose's landcruiser.
Yeah,
and
it might finish it.
Yeah. So as you guys came on board, I mean, speaking from a business perspective, if I recall, I mean, you guys basically had a slide deck, a dream, and a bunch of ambition, and that was 2 years ago. When you look back to that time 2 years ago to where you're at now, are you shocked at how far you guys have come, or has this been right on the trajectory of the plan that you expected?
Not expected, brother. Not expected at all. I mean, time, like all time and space kind of lost its reference, because it feels like we've been doing this for 10 years, and then it feels like we've been doing this for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But, the first year we were working on this tiny little like sweatshop. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, they literally had like the drop down power for the sewing machines in there. And it was like, where are we? And, in February, we're wearing like 3 winter coats in this little teeny office. And, we're all packing boxes and taking calls. And but it was just good. It was like really kind of cool to step away and step out, huge leap of faith. And then things just started just clicking. And then, Tom and Sam were like, you guys are like, we're going to hitch our buggy to your horse. And we were just putting tons of time and no days off, 16 hours a day. But, you're doing something, right? You're doing something for yourself. You're doing something for the team. You're doing something for the brand. And we knew like it was kind of two things. It was like, as long as we do the right thing, and we know, cause we're, how many times you walk into, our competitors or whatever place, or, I don't know, as a kid, you're 9, 10, 11, 12, ride your bike up to Napa and you got to deal with that old guy that just hates everybody. So we know what the wrong thing is.
He's sitting across the table from me. I mean, that's not
exactly. But it's like we know a little bit about what the wrong thing is, and we know a lot about what doing the right thing is. And then the big one for us was just inventory. Like if we can get to a place, you guys, like we just got to invest in tons and tons of inventory. Like if we want to be never out of stock. And I'm sure anybody listening is like, well, you're doing
cool story, bro.
Yeah, because just last week we were looking at all kinds of stuff. We were shopping and we're like, out of stock.
Well, COVID actually sort of like helped us because we were the only ones dumb enough to have like all this inventory on the water coming from Australia. And it like when COVID shut everybody down here in the US, people were like laying everybody off and you couldn't get parts. I mean, you call around and you couldn't get anything. I mean, I remember calling like KYB trying to get a bunch of strut tops and they're like, nope, we fired everybody. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay. So that was good, but we had this funny kind of lag with COVID. And so then COVID kind of slowed things down for us. But we just kind of kept things going. So now it's just, the other thing too is the marketing kicked in, word of mouth, I think really kicked in because people are just like, dude, Ironman's actually here. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're in Wilsonville, Oregon. So yeah, we'll send you some stuff. And so then when sales go up, we just got to keep the inventory coming in. So, and we've got so much stuff is back in stock now. And then with the move, we're moving from 8,000 square feet to over 50,000 square feet. So, I mean, I stood in the corner of the warehouse the other day and was just like couldn't even believe it. It's like, dude, this is like a real thing. Like I'm going to be a real boy soon.
We're a real business.
Hey, no joke. I've got about 30,000 square feet of additional warehouse space. If you need it, we can make a deal on.
We
just saying in Southern California, the lag of COVID. So going back, I don't know how much, so much stuff that's made on the, in the Pacific Islanders and Pacific Isles and Asia got shut down with COVID. Yeah. Did it have the same effect on like manufacturing and stuff in Australia or shipping in Australia? I wasn't paying attention enough to Australia to know if it had as much of an impact.
Yeah, and more. I mean, I'd have these conversations with my friends in Melbourne at our headquarters, and like I call Christian, and he's like the head of all engineering and design, and super smart guy, like super good guy, like down to earth, but amazingly smart. So don't play him in any sort of game that requires brain power. But
no problem.
But he was telling me, he's like, oh, hey, I got to go. I'm rolling up on a checkpoint. I'm like, what do you mean a checkpoint? And the Aussies literally were doing checkpoint stops. And you had to have like a legit note, like, hey, he's like, I'm going to a funeral, man. I have a note to go to this funeral for my family member.
Wow.
And I was like, geez. So Australia is a totally different animal down there. You lift your truck like an inch too high. They stop you, you go to jail, they impound your truck. It's just like, totally a different world.
There's a couple
extreme.
There's a couple people in my neighborhood that should go to jail for what they've done to their truck. I'm just saying I'm not totally off board of that. Like, but we just need to set the parameters correctly. That's I think we could all agree on that.
Plus, they do have crazy animals down there.
Yeah, everything in Australia is trying to kill you.
Maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what? You seen the size of the spiders down here? We just need to make sure that you're okay. Here's a checkpoint.
So going back to that before, you hit mute, I think, Chris, again. There you go. So going back to, prior to coming on board at Ironman, like how much were you into off-roading and overlanding and camping and outdoor stuff? Like, was that part of your life before this?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a super high speed, pretentious name like overlanding. We just called it car camping. But anyways, hopefully I didn't make all the overlanders super mad.
Look, there's nobody sacred here. Like whether you're an overlander, underlander, you drive a good car.
You don't have thin skin if you're listening to this show.
If you're listening to this show,
some would call us overlanders.
Some would call us overlanders. Yeah. There's someone in the chat room that for weeks we've been giving shit because he spent too much money on a truck that has roll-up windows. That's the way we roll. We just bag on people. so that you do what you do. Just go ahead. So before overlanders and you just did car camping, what was it all about?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of family camping, kind of up in the Cascades, like outside of Eugene. If you head up that way, there's tons of like cool lakes and a lot of playing in the water. College age, then you start to kind of go on trips and kind of doing your own thing. Miller was always really into Subarus. I mean, we did one of the first, his Loyale was fully clapped out. We were one of the first to do a lift kit, like in our area, in the Portland area. So, and again, that's it's just funny. We were talking like, hey man, like we should build 4x4 suspension for Subarus. And we're like, no, like seriously, like we should do that. Like nobody has a full like thing. And so, Wilsonville Subaru, it just blows me away. They do more lifted Subarus than anyone in North America. Wow. It's crazy. So yeah, anyways, we got to go to Dirtfish and all that. And they, those guys were totally all about it. I got to jump all the cars and they're like, we don't have a jump. And I'm like, well, I think you do. And
if you look hard enough, you can find one.
Okay. The thing is, you do have one.
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of cool doing that, Subaru stuff. And then I kind of grew up more on kind of the car side of things. And then, just kind of got into trucks kind of slowly. And then, my dad passed away probably like 6 years ago. And so I just to kind of deal with that whole thing, got the Humvee, had a buddy who's like a military vehicle collector that I knew through the sheriff's office. He was constantly getting, military rigs. And, the other thing too is like guys are like back then they were buying Humvees and they were registering them as like AM General pickup trucks. And because you couldn't legally drive the M998s on the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I was like, man, Steve, like I kind of like the auctions just kind of opened up and I really wanted to get one, but I wasn't going to lie because, working at the sheriff's office, that comes back, you like guys get in trouble for that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you get canned. So, anyways, my buddy Steve, who was like, he's like the Jay Leno of military vehicles and all this cool stuff.
Okay.
He's like, I actually got one that's legit for the road. He's like, it's more than, anyways. So I ended up getting one of his from his fleet and he's like, it's got everything you want. And so that was fun, but, Humvees are a little rough when everybody else is driving Toyotas. Like everyone's out, like they're on the trail having fun. And I'm just like constantly under my truck replacing half shafts.
It's interesting. And I don't know jack shit about military vehicles other than the information I got from a buddy that was in the military for several years. And he said that the Humvees were giant pieces of crap. He said that And he said it wasn't so much the Humvee. It was that the Humvee gets rolled off the lot rolled off the truck, and then they pile on 20,000 more pounds.
Right, and then everybody drives it like it's not theirs,
Yes,
and they just drive the shit out of it.
And that's what he said. He said they were constantly broken. There was not a single one in the fleet that ever worked. And then that's when they went to those MRAPs, those big-ass diesels.
Just wait till you let me drive that Ranger. You'll just see how that thing
Hey, bro,
handles.
Humvee didn't get the contract because they were the best. It's because they were the cheapest.
Yeah.
All right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. The Humvees are a Frankenstein. I mean, it's got GM, AM General. The funniest one, I think, is my calipers or the old AMC Eagle. Remember that old 4x4?
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Because, like, in the community, guys are constantly trying to, like, source parts. And so if you can kind of find what the conversion is, like, it runs an old, like, ham can style power steering, GM power steering pump, and, all this goofy stuff. So you get on some of these forums and they've got the charts, and it's like, really? AMC Eagle calipers? Are you
It's like a 1989 Peugeot.
Sounds
but
like
I lucked out because the one I ended up getting, I took paint thinner because usually when they sell them, they spray over all the numbers they got numbers on all four corners. And so this one came out of a, what was it again? It was like a heavy armored, like basically it rolled around with like destroyers and some heavy armored, military stuff. And it was a commander's truck. So my buddy, who's in the Army was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, dude, like HH6 is like headquarters, command 6. He's like, that's a commander's vehicle. It would have had a driver, and his driver is probably a mechanic. Yeah. So that's probably a pretty good truck.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them just completely clapped out. So I'm lucky. Yeah. It came with it's got good bones.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not want my tax dollars going to Matt driving a Humvee in the desert in any way.
I mean, you just need more tax dollars. That's all that is.
There's not enough tax dollars to support Matt driving Humvees in the desert.
Everybody just keep pitching in. Matt's doing good out there.
You know what though? I believe that they could outfit all of the military with stock Nissan Frontiers.
Oh, that's true.
And probably that's never have a problem. Like they could
out there kicking ass, taking names, not breaking shit. That's for sure.
Dude, seriously though, on those Frontiers, they're the real deal. A totally underappreciated truck.
Oh, we talk about it all the time. The time. Yeah.
No, I love my truck, and that thing I am very abusive to it, and then I drive it to work every day. So it's dominating.
So is the Humvee your trail truck? Is it your off-road vehicle?
It is. It's funny, when I left the sheriff's office, I had a take-home rig for all my gear and stuff, and then I was like, oh, okay, so I've got my wife's truck, and then that's it. So Luke and I actually commuted for about 7 months in my Humvee. It was just like, okay, and then I was fine, like, dude, my power steer, I'm sucking air somewhere. I cannot keep driving this until I get it diagnosed, because we come rolling in every day to the
Ironman must have a good dental program, because by the end of that 7 months, these guys didn't have any teeth left.
It was more the blood in our piss that concerning.
So are you sticking with the Humvee for a while? Or are you thinking about any other trail vehicles?
I think so. I pulled the trigger on my first new truck. I pulled the trigger on a Tundra. I had a couple first gen Tundras, and I really liked them. The new one, it's a pig, dude. I mean, I actually
you're able to find one.
Huh?
You were able to find one? Like, you just bought it?
Well, mine's a 2020.
Oh, okay.
I have a buddy down at one of the Toyota dealerships in Wilsonville, and he was like, hey, I think I got like your truck just rolled in. And he kind of talked me into the big fuel tank, which I'm glad he did, because when I tow, I get like 10. It's rough.
I get 10 every day.
Yeah, Jose's lucky to hit. If Jose hits double digits in his Land Cruiser, he's like, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the Tundra. The Tundra's been a fun truck, and we also kind of needed it for like marketing stuff too. So we put Foam Cell Pro on it, and then we've got which is kind of cool. I mean, it's for me, it's crazy to be like, I actually work at this company. So I'm constantly like kind of looking around the corner going, hey, Luke, do you think maybe you can like hook me up? He's like, yes, you work here. You can like go put this on your truck.
You're like, I can't have this sticker?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I'm kind of the Uncle Scrooge around there too. Like people are always like, I'm like, no, don't spend money on that. Don't spend money on that. But people forget, like, we started in a sweatshop, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, we're not taping boxes.
We're never
like,
going back to the sweatshop again.
Yeah.
Get the cardboard wet; it'll stick together.
That's fun. So what?
Hard to break those habits.
So what's your official title at Ironman?
I'm the North American VP of product. So
Okay.
I'm trying to head up a lot of the North American stuff because we really want to get into kind of the big three meat and potato trucks over here. So we've got Ram, the 1500 Ram stuff is here. And so that's cool. And then F-150 will be a big deal for us. And we also pulled the trigger on a Silverado. So got that down to Melbourne. So the boys are cracking away on that.
You know,
I thought you were going to go Frontier, like one with the big
We got
three.
Front three. We've been doing Frontier this whole time.
I know. I've seen it.
what's interesting about that is
I just want to hear Frontier big three. You know,
The big three.
big
Frontier,
three
meat-
and
Frontier's mid-size 15. It's the mid-size 15.
big three in landscaping for sure.
Yes,
Frontier.
for sure.
Dude, I think they own that space.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys were talking the other day about tracking down a were you guys talking about tracking down a Mazda? That hard body?
Yeah, the old Nissan hard body. Yeah,
Oh, the Nissan Wagner.
Yeah,
I think we were
Nissan hard body.
we were looking at trucks for Jose,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
probably found one on Craigslist. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a dude down the street that rolled up in a really, really clean looking one, and I was gonna go down and see what the mileage was on that thing. But anyways, I was listening to that episode, and I was like,
Yeah.
I drove by and I was like, whoa, they're looking for one of those.
That's funny. It's interesting you say Silverado, and we've talked recently about how, you know, Chevy's one of the big three, and the Silverado's been around forever, and they make the Trail Boss and all those things, but
We
you
never
don't
see
see
him on the trail.
Never ever see him. We're gonna see one at Mojave, by the way.
What?
Yeah,
On the trail?
on the trail. Superman.
Okay.
Superman has a Chris Reeves has a.
I was like, where are
that's
we
right.
going with this?
That
Yes.
is right.
My little brother's friend is coming with us, and he's got a Silverado.
Let's break
We're
it.
gonna wreck that shit, Chris. If you listen to this before you
Oh.
leave, we are gonna wreck the shit out of that
right
thing.
in that punch bowl, dude.
Oh
Try and
man,
keep
I
up.
cannot. The social media content we're gonna gain from wrecking Chris's truck is gonna be amazing.
Drone footage
Oh,
of the
absolutely.
Silverado
We have
wrecking.
We have
Oh,
two
beautiful.
trucks to wreck. We have Chris's truck to wreck, and then Jose's boss is coming on the trip in her brand new Ford Ranger. But you can't wreck it because it's a Ford Ranger. It's going to
Well,
be.
you could certainly park it up on top of the hill with the hood open, let the steam,
You know what?
evacuate.
I got to redeem myself in the Punch Bowl this year. I'm not going to listen to Jose's suggestions, and I'm going to do a better job.
We had a methed out school bus driver run into a
Go
stack
on.
of pallets and
You're like, no,
smashed
that's
a stack
it.
of pallets into our 3-day-old Ford Ranger last year. That was
No.
yeah, it was pretty fun.
A methed out school bus driver. I don't know that you want your school bus driver to be that high on meth.
Morgan.
Not on meth, at least.
Well, the sweatshop was next to a bus barn, so all the buses would leave in the morning and come back in about 3:00, and so you got all these I don't know, whatever. Bus drivers are great. I guess.
Nice finish.
All of a sudden, all these like old guys are like, "Hey, you boys better get out there! Somebody just smashed a bunch of pouch into that truck of yours. You only had it for nigh on 3 days. You better get out there. That guy's going crazy out there." And you're like, "What? What is going on?" You're trying to like.
When did we get to Alabama?
Yeah, you're trying to.
I know.
I'm sorry. I don't.
He's got the old like the little train driver suspenders on and stuff.
Oh, awesome!
Train driver suspenders.
Matt's into that kind of stuff.
Matt's,
we got that Ranger. It was seriously 3 days old. We had it backed in, and this bus driver just clipped this stack of pallets just right into the truck. We're like, well, that's fun.
And all the pallets exploded because the Ranger just flexed and went raw, and then it just
crumbled up into a ball and wondered what happened.
It did hold up pretty well.
I am.
So you guys do have a Ranger kit.
Well, we're working on it.
They have a Ranger. They don't have a Ranger kit yet.
We got. I mean, it just sucks. That friggin' Ranger.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue.
Well, if I'm remembering this correct, everybody said they were going to that T6 platform, like even SEMA, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to standardize it. It'll just be one Ranger all over the world." Well, that's not true.
No.
So
and not only that, they're remodeling it for 2022. I mean, it's only been legit in the States here since 2019, and they're already coming out with an updated version next year. I'm kind of bummed about that. I mean, but just means I'm gonna have to get one. That's all.
No, look, that Ranger's a really cool truck. It actually has more in common suspension wise with an F-150, like kind of the bar pin style and. But the Thailand truck, all the ones they build in Thailand, it's very different from the U.S. model, which we found out. But we do have, we've got our Pro Forge UCAs for the Ranger, and a buddy of mine just a few blocks down, we put it on his truck. He's been testing for us. He's like, dude, these things are awesome. And then just some components, like we've got leaf springs, bushings, U-bolts, stuff like that. But we're still working on the front coilovers for it.
Is that R&D happening here in the States or is back in Australia?
So we kind of do both. I mean, it's really expensive to put trucks in containers and wait 14 weeks to get them to Australia. So
is that how long it takes to get them to Australia?
About that, yeah. By the time with customs and stuff and everybody like taking smoke breaks, it takes a while.
It'd almost be worth it to buy a boat and drive them there yourself. I mean,
it's a little rough, but and the cool part for us as we grow, we're actually bringing more R&D here to the stateside too. So we're getting ready to pull the trigger on a scanner, which is pretty cool. So some of our friends down at SEMA Garage are like, "Oh yeah, like you gotta get into this stuff." So it'll be nice. It'll be really nice.
Yeah.
Can you confirm or deny that I know you guys just came out with the Jeep JL platform. What about JT? Is that anywhere in the future?
Oh, is Luke still on the chat? Luke,
Luke, we're looking for either approval or confirmation. I don't know if he's still in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
no one's gonna buy those JTs, dude. No one's.
You got people buying them with roll-up windows. They're selling those things, dude.
They're selling those things for $1.5 billion, and they can't keep them on the lot with roll-up windows.
I'm convinced they made that Gladiator the way it looks, so people will have to put wheels and tires on it.
Yes,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you. Yes.
But yeah. So JK, JL, and JT, we've got all that. And then one thing that I'm just like cannot wait to get my hands on is we've got a new been working on this kind of North American style front and rear bumpers. In Australia they call them bars, bull bars.
Yeah.
Bumpers. But
because in the States you bump stuff. In Australia, it's gonna kill you. Like you need a bull bar. Yeah,
somebody's survival is on the line. That's for sure. Somebody's living, somebody's dying. Yeah. Get some armor.
I think you just found your new marketing campaign.
Hey,
Something will die, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Hashtag. I just hashtagged it. That means it
Hashtag
officially,
you own it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the new front and rear bumpers look really, really cool. Really kind of cutting edge design. What I like about, Melbourne is, I mean, those guys, they don't have to listen to us. I mean, they've been doing it since 58. They know what they're doing, but they take the time to go like, hey, you are American. Like, what do you guys want to see? And so kind of bringing us into the fold and has been really cool. So we're kind of taking like some more like USA DNA and then mixing it with some of the really cool features that the Aussie stuff has. Because, I mean, the Aussie stuff's about the safest stuff you can run. If you ever actually look, like, it's funny, I had a buddy at Oregon State with an old clapped out F-250, and he welded a piece of railroad track.
Yeah.
Like, probably torched off of a railroad. And he's like, from the middle of Eastern Oregon, he's like, hey, man, check this out. I got a zombie killer. It's my zombie plow. I'm like, yeah, you're going to murder somebody if you, lose control. But, in Australia,
he was heading straight to Portland.
Yeah. And
I'm on my way to Portland.
That's Zombieland now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I want to say, like, in my head, he's talking about American DNA, and then I thought he was going to say mix it with Australian DNA, and in my head, I thought Florida Man. That's where Florida Man came from.
Dude,
it's
absolutely
American, right? Right? Do you think the craziness of Australia mixed with someone from Portland, you end up with Florida Man?
It's so true. I mean, yeah, Australia burnout contests, off-road lawnmowers.
Yep.
With LS swaps in them. What is going on?
Oh, that's funny.
What do they got? LS motors just laying around? Let's just throw it in a mower. Like,
what do you mean laying around? They took it out of whatever they could find it in. It's sitting at the parking lot. They just took it out.
Climb a tree if you let it.
Oh shit! So Luke did confirm Gladiator due out September. If it's late, Chris will hand deliver it. So you better get a passport ready to go. You might be flying around.
That is literally his favorite thing. Oh, Wags will handle it. Oh yeah, what you need that brand new Sprinter van suspension tomorrow. Have it tomorrow.
You got it.
Ooh, we're just outfitting some sprinters at work with some Ironman suspension on there. Keep the guys happy.
I'd love to do the Sprinter stuff. Is going to be really cool.
Yeah, you know what? And I think we've talked about these a little bit, like those big Sprinter vans and these Overland builds. I mean, for some of us, for me, it's like one of those things. Like, first of all, I don't know if I'm ever going to have the extra $80,000 to buy
80,
one.
Bro.
Yeah.
Is that used like
used
10
one.
years old?
Yeah, it's a used one. But
they're the real deal.
But second, it's very specific purpose. Like, if you buy that, you're doing long trips on. You're not off-roading. You're traveling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more of a road warrior.
But it goes back to what he was talking about earlier with the technology that they're deploying on their products. It's not necessarily made to jump or do desert running. It's gonna take a beating for eternity, right? And that's what those Sprinter vans, those big, heavy Sprinter vans would need,
You referenced Road Warrior, and we're talking about Australia. Like, that's Australia, right? The Mad Max was in Australia.
Yeah.
They did the whole thing in Australia.
That's where the movie took place.
That's when Mel Gibson still had an accent.
I know Mel Gibson had an accent. He's from Australia, right?
Yeah, that's what... All right, whatever. Anyhow, you can still make it like a zombie apocalypse vehicle, right? With like a bunch of spikes and stuff on it. And anyhow,
you get that little rat-looking kid that does the backflips with the metal boomerang.
Yeah, the metal boomerang.
Remember that metal boomerang? And the dude's like, I got it.
That's right. Yeah, he had like a chainmail glove to catch it.
Oh, that's right.
Right. So we talk about Mad Max regularly because we're pretty sure that
zombie apocalypse is coming.
Yep.
Yes.
And get ready. Get ready for it. We want to be the official announcers of the like the battle arena. When they scoop up people like that are just walking around the streets and make them fight. we don't want to be those people.
Yeah. I won't survive. I won't make it
No,
through
God,
the ring.
no.
I will be dead.
You'll die on the way to
on
the
the
ring.
way. I will just disintegrate on the way there. So we figured if we were the announcers, we wouldn't have to fight.
Yeah, come to Portland for the pre-show because it's on.
All right, that's tryouts. Tryouts for the for announcers. Right.
Exactly.
Some live commentary on YouTube.
Oh shit!
If you can make it across the Burnside Bridge, you advance.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
It's an aptly named bridge.
Yeah, it is.
Burnside, yeah, that's a good one.
They had a foresight, huh?
Yeah, somebody knew this was coming.
They knew.
So what is, looking at the trajectory of what Ironman has been able to do over the last couple of years, what's like, you've talked about how it seems like it's been 10 minutes and 10 years at the same time, and you guys have come a lot further than you expected. Does that change your perspective of what you think the next step is? Like, does it cause you to have any concern, like ratchet back a little bit and go, okay, well, maybe we need to slow down, or does it make you push harder and go, we can achieve more?
Good questions. For a minute there, I thought you were going to say the word prospectus, and I was like, crap, I do not know what that is.
We don't know what that means, dude. We're not using shit like that.
Bro, we can't even spell that word.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's a good question. I think what we need to focus on, I mean, it sounds goofy, but it's like, just focus on the main stuff. Like the products that we have, like I want to make sure they're really dialed in and really good and really reliable. So I want to make sure, because kind of our lane in the industry, for at least from what I mean, you tell me, you guys, but what I hear from folks and what I think too is we sell really, really, it's really high value. Like we're always trying to actually maximize the value of it. So, we're not Harbor Freight. We're not, King. We want to be middle, like high end of the middle of the road.
You want
Like,
to be Home Depot or
like I want to be hanging the driver's side tires of my Humvee in that number one lane, but I can't get there. It won't go that fast. But I'm definitely not in the slow lane, even if I got to over rev it.
Well, but I think there's a place for you there. Like if you, we've talked about it before. There are times, certain products, certain things where you're like, I either have to spend $10,000 to get the thing that is, way more than I need, or I can buy this thing for $100 that's going to break the first time I use it. I want to spend $500 and get something I can trust and get something that's reliable and it's got a good company brand behind it. And that's the lane you're trying to be in.
There's a kid that I was working with, and he had a whole King setup on his Tacoma, and it's like, wow, that's a trick setup. Where have you taken it? Oh, I haven't taken it anywhere.
The
And it's
Ontario
like, dude,
Mills.
how much money? Yeah, how much money did you drop? It's like you said earlier, Chris. They just want it looks pretty. Those reservoirs, you have them mounted so that everybody can see them, and that's all it is to this kid.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up, because the other thing, I never would have thought we would have had so much. Like one of our biggest competitors is like block spacers. Puck spacers. Like everybody puts a strut top spacer. You go into like we're really making good friends and become very popular with the Toyota dealerships, not just up in the Northwest, but in people calling us left and right, which feels really good. So we're trying to keep up, but everybody just kind of puts spacers. They go in, they see a truck on the lot and they're like, oh, it's lifted, so it looks good, but they don't bother. And that's fine. I mean, if that's what you're going for, it is what it is. But I think that where Ironman, we like our entry level suspension, our nitro gas stuff, it's still valved, has a similar valving profile to the foam cell pro stuff. It rides great. It's twice the size of Bilstein's TRD suspension, and for maybe just a little bit more money, you can do that instead of just putting spacer pucks and blocks in the back. People, it's funny. I literally, when I was doing customer service last year, I had a guy call and he thought I was ISIS. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, is this some kind of scam? And I'm like, no, like my name's Chris Wagner. Like I work for Ironman. He's like, are you in Australia? You don't sound Australian. I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm in America. He's like, so you're telling me you're going to send me full suspension for my Tacoma, including leaf springs. You're going to send me leaf springs in the mail. I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, for this price? I'm like, yeah. Like, he's like, it was just funny. Like, he refused to accept the fact that, like, and
you should have followed up and said, but I am going to call you every week and try and sell you vinyl windows. Just so you know.
Extended warranty on your truck.
Absolutely. But I think just people here in the States, and I mean, I grew up the same way. You got to buy like a stage, what is it? Stage 15. And if you add a circlip, it's stage 17 suspension kit. And you don't ever really get leaf spring packs. They just send you an add a leaf, or sometimes you don't get anything. You just get a block in the back. So I hope that's what people are starting to catch on to. Like, we sell fully engineered suspension system, front to rear, use the whole thing. It's going to blow your mind how well your truck's going to ride. And it's not super expensive. So if you just want to bebop around on the street, that's fine. It feels great on the road, but heaven forbid you actually take it off and use it for what it was designed for.
Yeah.
And I think, you see so many new people coming in to the whole, camping overland scene. And it's just like, hopefully they'll figure out how much better, how much better suspension really is the basis for everything on your truck. Cause tents, everything weighs so much more. So, that's kind of the plan.
And so with that, with the suspension, I think getting its legs underneath it, the growth of all the other products, how do you go about like managing all? I mean, again, so we talked about it earlier. Like, there's companies that just do the suspension, companies that just do the lifestyle. You guys are doing so much of it. Like, what's the plan for continuing to maintain that over time? I mean, you've got a lot out in front of you, which is a great opportunity for all of us in the marketplace, because I think it's, you become a one-stop shop. But what kind of challenges does that present for you guys as a distributor and manufacturer trying to keep up with the demand?
Well, that's it's a cool challenge. But what I really like about Ironman is, and again, I'm over here on the US side and our headquarters is in Melbourne, but the owners, they're really wanting to invest in good people to keep continuing to push product forward. So, like Jason heads up all the fridge design and heads up, tents. So we've got 4 new tents coming, like ABS clamshell. We'll have an, alucap style aluminum, and we're actually going to do a smaller version of our current rooftop tent. And, so from, product and design, we keep wanting to bring in really smart engineers, really smart designers, that can kind of help us push that, really good product, but at a really good price. Because again, I mean, everybody, you can get stuff on Amazon that's like, okay, or you can pay premium top dollar. I mean, like, I have, one time borrowed Miller's Overland journal and read through it and was like, this is insane, dude.
Well, you have your latte in one hand, and
if it says Overland on it, there's a 45% surcharge.
Yeah,
dude, I love Scottle jokes. I mean, all day long. Like, I'm like, Scottles? Are you kidding me? But Miller's like, he's the die hard, like, live it. You guys should talk to him. I mean, he's got every recipe.
Well, wait, dude, I have a little Coleman tailgate barbecue. That's what I bring.
Exactly.
Mine's not even Coleman.
And carne asada. That's it.
Mine's Bass Pro Shop branded. It's not even a Coleman.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to ramble here, but like the product stuff, it's like, I think we've got a pretty good pulse on what people here want, because, I mean, if there's anything I bring to the table, it's I am our customer. I mean, I know what I like, and I know what people like me like. And, most people here in the States, did you guys have any idea about fridge freezers until like it was not on my radar years ago? And it's like, I mean, you kind of heard about ARB and you're going, okay, I think. And like, I used to flip Miller a bunch of crap because he had one. I'm like, oh, super fancy. And then he's eating ice cream bars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can I have one?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah. Well, and we, we've talked about it before. Like, there's some YouTube channels out there that brought a lot of that stuff to the forefront. I mean, just like you, we didn't call it overlanding. It was camping. And if it didn't fit in the ice chest or it melted, whatever it is, what it is. But last year's Mojave Trail trip, I borrowed a refrigerator for the trip. And now I can't go on the trip this year. I can't do it. I can't, I have to pull the trigger on one of the Ironman refrigerators because I can't do it. Like,
absolute game changer. And, it's funny. I'm sure Miller's sitting at home just like fuming because he's like, you don't know anything about overlanding, Wagner.
Miller's not paying attention. Luke is super concerned about the ISIS legal battle he's about to fight. Luke is pretty sure that he's got to put the legal team on notice that there's going to be some complications when this interview comes.
He's fine. I just keep telling him it's pronounced is.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't say ISIS. He said rice-is. It's like rice-a-roni.
Ice is cold.
I just think, there's a lot of people here. Like, I've got a bunch of buddies kind of back on the law enforcement side, and they've kind of, kept in touch. Like, dude, this is awesome. Look at all this cool stuff. But they're just like, what is all this stuff? They just don't really know. And so, like, what I think is kind of fun to do is I'm trying to approach this through a new set of eyes myself and then boil it down for folks. So like a dual zone fridge, people are like, well, why would I want a dual zone, fridge freezer? And, the Aussies are like, well, you got to have a dual battery. Like, who doesn't have a dual battery setup in their trucks? Like, we have no idea about dual battery setups here. But the thing is, you don't necessarily have to make that, crazy jump into dropping all this money. Like you can run what I tell guys, look, get a fridge freezer, put your, your hamburger and all your frozen stuff, steaks, chicken, put it on the freezer side and throw some ice packs in there and freeze it. Just freeze it up. And then when your truck's down for the night and you're not, running your power, just take your frozen stuff and throw it in on the fridge side. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's not gonna thaw out on you. Is it you either have a twin or a second camera going there, Cody?
Yeah. So I logged into a second session of the chat because
there was too many comments about where's Cody.
Yeah,
and now he has to make up for it with two angles.
But the only thing is, you guys are the only one seeing two angles. The YouTube feed is only just the one angle. I don't know why my original angle up here doesn't show up on the YouTube feed, so I logged in from a different laptop because I have several.
Where's my second? I would like another angle.
Dude, all it's gonna do is make you look 10 pounds hevier.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, how many cameras you got on? How many cameras you got on me now? You got about 10.
Look, I think you look back at. We talked about Ironman, and you guys, earlier the roots of their military background and what they've developed, and then the only way I can like the testing that went into the Ironman products in the Australian outback, and it's when you guys started, and I don't want to take anything away from what you've accomplished, but it's not.
Feel free. You can take a lot.
No, but I'm saying it's not like you said, I have an unknown brand that is untested and not ready for prime time, and we're going to try to sell it here in the States. You said, we have a brand, we have a product that has been proven, and it's just hard to get in the States. We want to make that better and get it to the States. And I think that was a great business move on your guys' part to do that. And I think it's, the trajectory of the rise in what you guys are experiencing. It goes back to what you said about getting the word out and getting products on people's vehicles and getting their hands, on the tents and the.
You know what? I was not to cut you off, but I think, everybody does get so caught up in the reservoir thing and, as far as their suspensions, and it's a big investment to see, I'm interested to see like, well, who runs their vehicle that hard to benefit from that? As far as having I do, But for the most part, but
Humble brag, bro.
If there's another option that's much more cost effective, there's a ratio there, right? Like, well, you're still going to keep up with the dude with the reservoir because he's not. You're not going to drive it like that. You're still driving a stock vehicle, So I think that's a really interesting option that I see, as far as the foam cell and that whole technology. It seems pretty. I'd like to see it, like. Jose, get it. Let's put it to test.
Well, Jose's got a week and a half to get a Frontier and an Ironman kit before Mojave.
They make an Ironman kit for my car.
Well, look, if you don't have a Frontier with an Ironman kit on it by Mojave, you can't go.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, still, just to see. I don't know enough about suspension.
Well, what we got to do, is Luke still listening?
Luke, close your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earmuffs, bro. Earmuffs. It's kind of the same approach that I had with a lot of our Toyota and Subaru dealers where, I'll tell all their guys, I'm like, dude, if you guys want to hook up, just call me. And we want them to run our stuff because who else would you want to run your stuff than the technicians? Because those guys, they are very opinionated and they know, and they'll call you out on any kind of nonsense. And so, we had talked, I'm like, you guys, we should put suspension on all the techs' trucks. And if they like it, if they like it, then great. But if there's something wrong with it, they will absolutely come tell us what's wrong with it.
Yeah. We have the fourth member of the team, having some background conversations with Greg about Ironman. I just don't think that the parts are going to be available before Mojave. Casey's been looking at their kit for a long time. So we've been talking about it, and
look, we'll totally we'll hook you guys up because it'd be nice to
see if he's in the chat room.
Yeah,
he's getting all excited.
Casey's going to be all excited. But yeah, my brother has a Nissan Frontier, and going back and looking at the options for that vehicle, the Foam Cell Pro keeps popping up, and that's the direction he wants to go with it. So there's been some conversation with Greg about doing it. I think it's more of a supply issue right now. It's just we keep every time we get it, everybody sees it goes in stock, and I honestly have no idea how are people figuring this out, because it's just like you click the button hey, we received inventory, and it's just pew. Yeah.
Okay, the computer did something.
That's not awesome. Look,
that's a good problem
from a business perspective. That's the direction you want to go in. Yeah.
Well, when everybody's screaming at you, going where's
But as a Frontier owner, that's I'm glad to see that there's that interest, in the Frontier. Because
listen, I've also got our buddy Robert up here. He just went down to Flagstaff. There's a company down there that does those kind of AT toppers. And he did one of those, but we hooked him up with some suspension and a front bar and did some other cool stuff. And I'll text you guys those pics because I think his truck looks really, really clean. I mean, it's one of the nicest Frontiers I've seen. It looks really good.
So does the lawnmower sit horizontally or
where does he put the handlebars? Over the cab?
And does he hang the weed eater on the side? That's
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, his truck. It does. It looks really good. It looks really good.
That's awesome. Well, hey man, look, it's been about an hour. We've exhausted a bunch of your time. I've enjoyed hanging out with the Duke in the background, and I'm super interested to know what the follow-up conversation with Luke is going to be after this interview. It's going to be I told you not to say any of those things. Now we have to follow through with all of those things.
Your key's not going to work tomorrow.
Hey, guys, my key fob's not getting me in the door.
I'm like, you're British. I literally understood 2 words of what you said.
Funny.
But look, you guys have been fantastic for coming on the show, for supporting our events, for, we mentioned it earlier, you guys have committed to trying to help out with some stuff for Mojave. I'm super excited about that. Luke just in the chat room notified us that you're fired, so I don't know that you need to need to come in.
He could be talking about me though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for sure. But no, seriously, like we have become really, really big fans of the Ironman brand over the last several months, just in having the conversations with you guys. And one of the things that I think is the coolest is that you guys are just all cool dudes that do what we do, very easy to talk to. It's stand behind the brand, and you strike me as the kind of people that wouldn't put your name on something unless you would use it. You know what I mean? And that I think carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of, I don't know, funny marketing and stuff out there, and we're just like, why don't we just tell people like what we actually think is going on? So hopefully that kind of shines through what we're trying to communicate. Yeah, I sure appreciate you guys having us on. Hey, can I do a super douchey plug here real quick?
Absolutely, douche away.
Yeah, douche away.
He's emailing me here. We're having a sale.
Oh,
I'll start there. We're having a sale, guys. And if you use Spring 25, get it? Spring and spring. All right, anyways.
Are we talking about like 2000?
Marketing gold. It's marketing gold, Jerry. Marketing gold. Anyways, if you guys, I think on all suspension. Wow.
He's like, oh shit.
Am I reading this correctly? Yeah, I feel like he's a news anchor and someone just handed him a piece of paper. This just in, the president has been shot.
No, I'm looking at this going, we're giving away compressors. I might go buy some suspension. So yeah, I mean, just for, all your folks listening and stuff, like we love to hook people up. And if, we don't run sales all the time, but this one will be a big one. And so the Gregan wanted me to get this out. So Spring 25 will get you 25 off. And I think we're giving away one of the big 004, the big compressor. And that thing is really nice if you're running 37s.
Nice.
So that'll fill up quick. And then, we got the Raid series bumpers coming for the Jeep and the Yodas, and that's going to be a huge step forward. Really, really clean stuff. Come on, man. I'm not going to read all this.
Do it. Let's go.
Ahead, dude.
Send me the email. I'll read it all. Let's go.
Nah, you guys are too cool. Anyways, it's really, really, I wouldn't do that to you.
No, we're not.
We're not
that cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I guess the last thing is that, we should be moved into the new location here, hopefully like mid to end summer. And, going to build out a really cool showroom and stuff like that. So we'd love to have, folks up. We'll probably do a big, open house kind of a deal. And just, it's like crazy to look how far things have come in such a short time. So thanks again. I mean, really, thanks again.
No. Let us know when all that's happening, and we'll put in some requests for time off.
I gotta talk to my boss's boss.
Aren't we heading up north in September?
Well, not that far north. We talked about going up to middle.
Might as well keep going.
Yeah, we talked about
another
doing
10 hours.
Yeah,
we'll send you some Deranger stickers that we made.
Nice.
You can slap those on the back of her truck.
Oh, I love it. The Deranger. Yeah. Let us know when you guys are doing the open house. We'll talk about it on the show. We'll try to drive some traffic your way. And in the meantime, open invitation. Anytime you guys have stuff that's coming up and you want to talk about, we've had a really good time talking to you guys, and we're looking forward to doing a lot more collaboration in the future. So thanks for coming on the show tonight, man, and thanks to Luke for putting up with the shenanigans in the chat room. And
am I seriously? Am I not coming in tomorrow?
I'm just saying you might want to text your boss.
I got to put diapers on my kids, man. Come on.
You might want to text your boss after this to see what kind of. There's a write up waiting for you.
I'm not taking my flag down, Luke.
Actually, wait. Talk about walk across the street, bring him a beer, and tell him you're sorry that you'll never do
open my garage door right now.
Oh crap! That is awesome.
He's probably in my driveway.
Yeah, he's on your Wi-Fi right now. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something else, dude.
I
was like,
changing
what?
my password.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate
You have
it.
a great night,
All right,
man.
Later,
thanks, man.
All right, dude. That was a really, really good time. We'll end it there. We'll still live feed. We're still live streaming, so you can't say anything that's going to get you fired. But the
I mean, you could say something
could,
that gets you fired.
But yeah, but you don't. You shouldn't. No, that was a great conversation, man. Really enjoyed the time, and in all sincerity, I think you guys are killing it. I think you guys are doing a great job with what you're doing, and we're just excited that you're allowing us to be part of it. So, I'll follow up. Casey seriously has had conversations with Greg about that Foam Cell Pro, but I think the shocks were available, but the upper control arms weren't, or the leaf springs weren't, or something. So
It's always something, man. It's just like you gotta be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're trying to, you say we're off the air now.
Well, we're live streaming at this
we
point.
can stop streaming.
Yeah, we can stop
Oh
streaming.
no, it's fine. But I mean, you gotta understand. 2 years ago, you got 3 guys.
Yeah.
It's been like not even drinking from the fire hose, just like
bathing in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's been really good, and we've brought in some really good guys. It's like, hey, I'm an idiot. You're a professional. Would you like to come here and help us do this? And so it's
Jose knows what that's like.
I do
That's the
know
exact
what
same conversation I had with Jose.
But it's been good, I mean, like we've got a really good logistics manager, and he's killing it. And just we got a guy named Matt Pro. He was so good, his last name changed to Pro. So just a really good team of guys. And it's tough too because it just seems like everybody just wants to stay home, not work anymore. And we're like really, really motivated. I mean, we get a big kick out of just like showing up and working hard.
Yeah.
I literally was banding pallets of racking all day and then loading them on a forklift on a guy's, it's just like, you just kind of do everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's cool, man. So I appreciate you guys being so gracious too.
No. Look,
It's the first time anybody's ever referred to me as great.
You're welcome.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have one of those cigarettes with the long filter thing.
Ooh, that'd be a good look.
That's a long way away from Mountain Morgans and Apple Pie Apple.
Dude, the Mountain Morgan thing was so stinking funny. We've got a guy named Bubba, literally the size of the Kool-Aid man. We put out an ad for our first customer service agent. We're like, hey, you want to come work here? Like, there's 3 of us. We need someone to help answer phones. An hour later, this orange Tundra comes bombing in, backs into the spot, he clicks his way through the wall and goes, oh yeah, and literally says, you're gonna hire me. And I'm like, sir, you have physically, spiritually, and emotionally assaulted me.
You're hired.
And but he's like, one day we're sitting there. I mean, this is the guy. He puts 3 hot dogs. He'll go to Costco and buy 100 pack of hot dogs. He'll put 3 hot dogs in a coffee mug and microwave it for a minute. And then,
I think Matt, you need to take a DNA test. I think this might be your long lost brother.
He'll sit in the showroom and just eat these hot dogs out of a mug. And then he'll fall asleep. But anyway,
I think he's my new favorite person.
I think I love this guy.
Bubba is the best. He's like, he says, I invented a drink. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, it's called Dr. Dew. I'm like, what? He's like, well, my dad invented this drink. They mix diet Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew.
Ooh.
Like the 2 worst. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? But that whole
Mountain Morgan,
Cody's fancy drink, you should mix some Dr. Dew in that thing.
It sounds like a Mojave Trail challenge
I
there.
think I have more interest in the hot dogs and a coffee mug thing, actually.
Oh my
to
God,
be honest with you.
Oh, damn it. I think Matt's kind of onto something. If we're going to start heading north sometime, we got to figure out how to get as far north as possible to connect with.
Well, I know if we shipped our trucks up there, it'd probably take couple of years. I don't know.
We need to find a way to get it as far north as possible to still connect with all the Northern Cal contingent, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, Kevin Jones, and all those guys, but have enough room for you guys to come down, and then just have a major, like, what would be in between that? What's,
Eureka?
Yeah, like the very top of California. So
yeah, like Shasta area. There's some cool stuff. Kind of.
Okay. I'm going to need a lot more time off work than I thought. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too. Well, and I'm like, it's just so funny. Like when this whole thing started, we're like, oh, dude, it's going to be great. We're just going to drive around and shoot stupid videos and it'll be great. It's like, we've done none of that.
Yeah. Oh, we've talked.
We talk about that all the time.
That's a lot of work, dude.
I have 400 hours of video on my hard drive that will never see the light of day. Like it's too much work.
I'm skinny in half of those.
Yeah. Casey is saying that the Ironman hot dog, the Ironman coffee mug with hot dogs in it should be a raffle at Mojave Trail. I'm not carrying that in my truck.
Hey, no bullshit though. Like talking to you guys, like it makes me want to go work up there because you guys are like, hey,
shut up.
Hey, no, but it's like
he's been there 6 weeks. He's already trying to quit.
No.
I get fired every day. This is just a normal occurrence with Luke firing me publicly.
No, but it just sounds like you guys are on the precipice of like something really big.
A lot of good things. I think a lot of good things and.
Hot dog water.
Hey, what do you guys do with that broth?
We're really pushing the envelope. We're really pushing the technology envelope with our whole.
Shit. All right, man. Hey, we'll. I will. I've got your email address. We will get this thing edited and posted Wednesday night. Wednesday, when I send this out, I will send you an email with some social media stuff, and we'll be in contact between now and then. And in all seriousness, I told Greg that when I got back from vacation, I wanted to pull the trigger on that compressor in the fridge. So I will be sending you guys some emails on that one. And then
if anything, it'd be really good. Just R&D stuff. Get some product in your hands, and we're trying to even the fridge stuff's getting redesigned right now, which is really exciting. I mean, look, Dometic's killing it. They make some great stuff, and we've got to do an update. So we're working hard to try to get all that stuff done.
Well, again, when they're ready to hit the market, let us know. We'll talk about them.
Cool, man. Well, again, super chill. Thanks for having me on. I was, it's a little nervous. I've never done a Webercast thing. So
neither have
well,
we.
If it was somebody else, it might have been more important, but we literally make shit up as we go.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. That's really good.
All right,
guys.
man.
Listen, if you guys need anything, just shout. I'm happy to help. And Gregor's, in all seriousness, is a great guy. So it was nice of him. He's like, hey, dude, I think these guys are willing to talk to you. You should probably take your opportunity and do it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then he slammed the door and turn the light off and slammed the door to my closet.
Oh man. All right. Well, you have a great night, man. We will catch up with you later this week.
See you guys. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Night.
Later.
Bye. All right. That was a great conversation. You guys ready to roll into? We don't need a whole lot. We'll just do a Mojave update.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thanks to Chris and the Ironman team for coming on the show again. I think it's interesting that we didn't screw it up bad enough with the first two that they they actually told him to come out, because I get the feeling like he'd be like, no, you don't want to. We already did that once. You don't want to do that.
All you can do is keep trying.
Yeah.
Just keep trying to screw things up.
That's how I got my wife. You just keep going, and
it takes a lot of effort.
A broken watch is right twice a day.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a little bit. Mojave update. Let's go back to matter of fact, I'm gonna open a spreadsheet. Yes, you heard me correctly, my friends. I'm going to open a spreadsheet. All of the spots are full and then some. The trip is gonna happen. I think.
I got extra time off, so I know.
Yeah, that's
I don't care.
Bullshit.
If you guys don't make it, I'm going on my own.
Yeah. So you took Friday and Tuesday off.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a veteran move right there.
That is
Hey,
a veteran
man,
move.
I don't mess around. You guys, I thought Cody was like a boss. Apparently not. Apparently not.
Yeah, but it
listen
just
to him complain.
It just means I have more work to do.
Don't you have subordinates?
No, I do not.
You got to get yourself some
I do.
subordinates.
I need to get some minions. So companies that are participating in this event, and we are still working on collecting all of the stuff. Nexen is going to provide some swag, and we're raffling off a set of Nexen roadianmtx types.
That's awesome.
I mean, seriously. Seriously.
Think about like,
hey, go on a trip, you might win some tires.
Yeah,
you have a pretty good odds to win a
pretty
set of
damn
tires.
good
they're
odds.
good.
Five tires?
Five.
Yeah, set of five.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
Yes,
It's even better.
Set of five,
Yeah.
size of your choice, raffle tickets just for entering and registering to go on the trip.
You still get to go to the trip, too.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. All right. We're clear.
Icon, Cali Raised Off-Road, Ironman Off-Road, you heard we just talked about that, Shower Pouch, Air Down, Outer Limit Supply, Baja Forged LGE CTS,
Dang.
OEM Audio, Mountain Hat, our All J products, White Knuckle Off-Road. All of these people are so
Wow.
we've got gift cards for White Knuckle Off-Road.
Are we allowed on this
Hey,
trip?
can I?
Are we
I
going?
I get some of the.
You guys don't get raffle tickets at all. You guys don't get raffle tickets. You get swag. You'll get swag, but no raffle tickets.
Okay.
We're getting.
Sounds like a lot of swag.
It's an air compressor from Ironman.
I think you
shower
said it's that
pouches.
big one, right?
Yeah,
The big bore one.
Yeah, gift card from Air Down Off Road. Some raffle items from Outer Limits. I don't know what that is yet. White Knuckle Off Road's giving us 2 $100 gift cards for White Knuckle products.
Nice.
All J Products is putting together a bunch of giveaway bags for that. I mean,
Very nice. Wow.
if my only concern right now is we've got a week and a half to get all this stuff to my house so we can put it together. But as long as all of that can happen,
Get yourself some minions. Come on.
I need minions. I need a full-time intern. Didn't we talk about getting an intern for the show like
We did.
a year
Yeah,
ago?
we've been
We
talking
did. That
about
was
it.
before we got swag on a regular basis. And now we're getting swag all the time. Like, can't we just like lure like an intern?
Stop whatever you're saying
for
right there. Stop.
Right.
I don't need the conversation about luring an intern.
I didn't say who, but come on into this room. Start going through these bags.
Why?
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't
why
know
did
why
that
the
get
voice-
so creepy, dude?
I don't know. It just did. It just did. But that's even better than, way better than the Parker run.
Yeah.
I mean, we're stepping up. We better I think we better slow our roll, to be honest with you, because the next time we do something, we're gonna have to give away like a car or something. We're
gonna give away Jose's Land Cruiser on this trip.
I'm telling you.
The shirt design is out, and we had a little bit of a snag with this shirt vendor, and I think that's getting fixed in the next day or so. I mean, all in all, things are rolling, man. We've had a couple people back out for various reasons, which we just backfilled those spots from the waiting list, but we are
Like
full.
that.
Yeah. We are.
Did
full.
you have like an algorithm or something that just automatically did it, or how did that work?
No, it was based on when people registered. So they
see.
as they registered it.
Couldn't you call that an algorithm technically?
No.
I mean,
An algorithm uses various
Go on.
levels of input to do a calculation to anticipate what the next step is going to be. Anticipation is the key factor in an algorithm. So this was used as basic timestamps on whenever people registered. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
were they color coordinated?
No, they just come in as a timestamp code.
Okay, all right.
So
Just making sure it was legit. That's all.
It's more of a data structure than an algorithm.
All right, that's
yeah, it's possible. I'll go with that. So
and
I mean, you have your different kinds of data structure, your linked list. No,
No, you're losing, dude.
that's computer science.
All I know is the term algorithm and spreadsheets. I don't know anything else, Jose. I was happy he had stopped where he did.
I knew when to stop. That's my thing. I know when to stop. Jose does not. Jose kept going.
But I love that about Jose. And these new people, the reserves have been notified at this point.
At this point, everybody that is going to be on the trip has been notified.
What's the cutoff if you back out at what date? You're just hosed.
Well, nobody's hosed. I mean, if everybody that's paid their registration, if they backed out, I would just hand them a swag bag next time I saw them. You know what I mean? Like at this point they've purchased their. I don't know that we'd be able to at this point be able to add anybody new because of the order. We have to order the shirts, and I mean we're about to draw the line when we order those shirts.
As far as the raffle is concerned, do you have to be there for the raffle?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, right. How
we're
going
to
to
do it. We're going to do it Saturday night, I think.
Okay.
So Friday night.
So you don't show up. You'll still get your bag of swag.
Yeah,
but you will not be able to participate, obviously, in the raffles because you're. How are we going to know? If you're not there on Saturday night.
Yeah, and so at Parker the last time when we did the raffle, it was windy, and we had the raffle tickets in a box, and we were kind of shaking them a little bit to mix them up, and it's at one point like 15 raffle tickets blew out.
Oh my God! Yeah,
and people lost their shit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute! So we had to scramble to put them all back. So we'll have a better plan for.
They were all Tim's.
We'll have a better plan for the raffle tickets, but as we put the raffle tickets in the swag bag, we will put them in a container for the raffle. And I think we'll do the raffle Saturday night because Friday night, not everybody's going to be there at the same time Friday night. I don't want to do it Saturday morning while we're all sitting at the trailhead ready to go. So we'll do it probably at the first campsite Saturday night.
You want to talk about like radios? Maybe if you're looking, because we have like a few extra, right?
You know what? At one point I had 25 extra radios. I think I'm down to 3.
Oh
I think I had 9. I think I had 9 radios. Remember that one Christmas I got 9? I think I have maybe a total of 4 radios.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Just get FRS radios. We're using FRS frequency.
Yeah.
So.
But the Bofang ones on Amazon are $35.
No, I know, but then you have to program the FRS frequency into it.
No, you can just type in the keypad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yes, you can pre-program the channels, but if we just say 462-589, you just punch that number in and you're on the same frequency as everybody else. And we've been using those Bofang UV5s.
Yeah, they're cheap and they're good.
Yeah. It was a BEOFANG.
Yeah. $40.
BAOFENG. Yeah, they're a range from $29. The Bofang UV5R.
Yep.
For $29.
The go-to standard.
Probably get the adapter so you can plug it into your cigarette lighter. Because 3 days on the radio,
the extended battery, dude. I have the extended battery on mine. It lasts days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
I have 2 batteries, and then I have the little adapter.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that extended battery because I do have the adapter. But both of the adapters that I've purchased, they're like $5 a piece. Both of them have broken, like from pulling on them from the, that's torn the thing off.
You shove them in a bag.
I bought 2 of the handheld things, and every time I've used them, you guys say it sounds like shit.
And I did the same thing. I bought one of the handheld microphones, and everybody said the same thing. You can't hear anything. So, those are the radios. I mean, and it does make a huge difference. If you're on the trail run and you have a battery, you have the radio, you will be. It's a way better experience because you're constantly in the loop as to what's going on, and you know what I mean.
A lot of the shit talking happens on the radio.
Yeah, most of my Comic Gold is radio, is on the radio, and I think that people miss out on that.
Well, at least you'll be aware of like, why are we turning around again? And then you'll be aware of it for sure because there's very little cell service. It's spotty. It's spotty.
Well, and none of us are going to be on our cell phones. I mean,
No. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be. We're not splitting up the groups, are we? Like,
well, no. I think there will be some natural splitting.
That depends if I'm staying in Laughlin Friday night.
Yeah.
And then the second group leaves. At about 2:00 in the afternoon, and we got to run them down.
I told him this weekend. like he's thinking about spending the night in Laughlin on Friday night. And I said, that's fine, but note at 9 a.m.
Train leaves at 9.
There's going to be nothing but a cloud of smoke at that trailhead, and we're not waiting.
And then what did I say?
And he said there'll be a cloud of smoke chasing you down like a bastard.
Did I say a bastard? I don't know.
Banshee,
that.
whatever you said. I don't know.
Just that said I'd be chasing you down. I didn't call you a bastard. Damn.
Well, you've called me a bastard enough times to where I get
just
him.
used to
yeah,
it.
It is what it is.
That's true.
And now this guy, while he was sitting at the counter, has convinced Tammy that she wants to stay.
I didn't convince her nothing. I just said, "Here's the logic," and then she seems to agree with my logic.
Oh wait,
none of that makes me happy.
Stay in Laughlin
Friday night.
Get a room and then or camp at the trailhead. Now I have that day off that Friday, so I don't know.
Tammy was like, this weekend we were talking about it. I'm like, what's the plan for Friday? So I want to be out of here about 4. She's all, 4 o'clock on Memorial Day weekend? That seems like a good idea.
I did the same thing last year.
But you and I talked about it earlier. So now
I'm not going to the 15.
No, yeah, right now Google Maps will tell you go to the 15 up to the 40. There's no way. We're gonna go out the 60 and then cut across the desert once we get
That's what I did last year.
Yeah.
You're doing what now?
So if we don't leave till the afternoon on Friday, the 15 freeway going north is going to be a
hellacious
disaster.
Yeah. So you're going
you
all
can
the
take
way
the
out
60 all the way out.
Palms?
Yes, 29 Palms, Yucca area.
That's the way I went last year.
And then you take some squirrel death highway
from
the 60 north to get to 40.
You're taking the road called hold on one second.
Squirrel Death Highway.
Squirrel Death Highway.
Done.
It's called Anthony Road. And
Dead
leads,
Jackrabbit Avenue.
and it leads to just Anthony Road. And just Anthony Road all the way. And it cuts across the desert into Amboy.
Oh, good old Amboy.
And
isn't that where that guy died when he shot himself, tried to shoot himself up into the dome?
Space rocket guy?
Yeah.
And then that's where you hit the original Route 66, and then you just you go on that for a little bit, and then you go on to another road to hit the 40. Mm-hmm. You hit Cal Baker.
Yeah.
From there.
So I have to put together the itinerary and all that. The one thing that we haven't really done, that I haven't really done, is done any mapping. Jose found the campsite for night 1, based on some feedback from the park ranger for night
1,
for
Saturday
night. Because Friday will be stationed outside the preserve.
Yeah, Friday's just going to be basically on the side of the road.
Yeah. And then Saturday will be that spot that the ranger.
So they're gonna know where we're at. They've already keyed them in.
Yep.
Okay. I hope they're ready.
Me too. We'll have a permit.
Oh, that's cool. But I mean, we actually got caught with our pants. I was gonna say caught with our pants down a couple of years ago, and we came wheeling up, right? So this time we'll be legit.
Yeah, well, he just came up and he's like, "Hey, do you guys get a permit?"
And it was just Jose's pants that were down.
Permit?
Not mine.
I don't know if you noticed, but we're in the desert. Like, what are you talking about? And so he schooled us on the need for a permit.
Yeah, and then the second night will be Razor Road, which is outside the preserve too. So
yeah, as far as the 2 groups, we don't need 2 groups. I mean, there's no. What's the point?
I think they will.
You could do Mojave in 6 hours, like if you wanted to, right? And you just pedal to the floor.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole point is to be part of the group, I think, right? And then go. See the typical spots.
We'll hit Fort Paiute. We'll hit the.
Are we going to hit Fort Paiute with 26 vehicles?
Dude, that's a one way in, one way out.
And there ain't enough room for 26 vehicles in that at the top of that. No way.
Oof.
If we wanted to split that, maybe, and find someplace else that that we could kind of figure 8 there, and cut that in half. Not to mention, we're not going to be the only group on that trail. There's probably going to be another. We're going to be the majority of the vehicles on the trail.
Yes, we do.
But there's going to be,
Rob's asking, we got a permit. Yes, we do have a permit.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be like the mailbox. How are we going to do the mailbox?
But
if you're new and you want to you want to see Fort Paiute, you want to see the mailbox, you want to whatever.
So you know what your boss asked me today when we were talking about it a little bit?
What's up?
I told her about Fort Paiute and the corral that we're staying at, the abandoned corral. She went, can I get an EMF meter and me and Tammy can go something while we're there?
Oh my God.
I'm like, you're officially uninvited. However, she does have a projector and a blow up screen, so
Well,
we have to bring her now.
Yeah, you bought the movie, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I haven't purchased any movie. So what I'm saying is, in all honesty, no joke, I think this weekend the three of us need to sit here and go through the map and make a plan.
logistics. We got to
yeah.
go through the logistics of what's actually going to happen.
Hey, dude,
Well, I know what's going to
nobody
happen.
said
We're
this
going to
was
make
gonna be work.
25 U-turns is what's going to happen.
But that's how we handled Parker,
Yeah,
right? We
yeah.
split up who's going to go on this and who's going to not go, go on their own route or go find something. That worked out well. I think that's max what we can. Fort Paiute being the perfect example. That's 12 vehicles. Max.
I didn't think about that, but you're right. The route in, it's one, like you said, one way in, one way out, and you're only going to fit 10, 12 vehicles at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to say we can't park down the trail, but with the size of the group we have, we would basically take the entire.
That's a shit show.
Yeah,
Like,
and then trying to get out.
there. Yeah. So maybe it's we take show of hands. I don't need to go to Fort Paiute.
Yeah, neither do I. Like,
I'll
and
stay
if behind,
if
no
one of
problem.
us wants to go, yeah, let's go. Who wants to go to Fort Paiute? We show of hands and maybe we have a drawing because if there's too many, we say 10.
Well, yeah, but I think if I'm looking at the attendees,
Most of them gone.
There's a lot of people that have seen Fort Paiute a couple
still
times.
might want to go.
Yeah,
I'm sure my boss will probably want to.
Yes,
go
for
on it.
sure. But I'm saying maybe half of the group. So 15 rigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stretch, but you could do 15 rigs up there. So while those 15 rigs go up to Fort Paiute and back, by the time
that's when we sit down and we find something else to do.
So let's
Something new that the people that have already seen Paiute go, all right, let's go check out this mine that's 5 miles away or whatever. And then we have to pick like a time because our radios probably aren't going to read,
Yeah.
strategery.
So let's plan. After we end the show, let's have a conversation about when we can do that because we definitely need to do that, and I'm not going to have time to do it during the week. So maybe sometime Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. We'll figure it out. But if you are on the trip, you know who you are. It's.
I saw Mark got the popcorn. He's posting that in the chat room, and I saw he posted on
Instagram, right?
On the gram, a bunch of popcorn. I'm pretty excited about it. That's when you know it's real. Is once the popcorn has been purchased,
I can't believe
and that investment. You can't turn back now.
I just can't believe this shit's like a week and a half out.
Dude, it is.
Thank God, man. I just want to get out and get in some dirt.
Adam, I'm going to try to... Adam's asking about doing a caravan. So typically what we do on these types of trip is we start at this chevron, we go to the next chevron, and we go to the third chevron. So, yes. So my plan will be over the next few days, I will be putting together the itinerary. Basically, when are we going to leave Southern California? When are we going to leave the Inland Empire and head out? And we'll make several stopping points based on, like, for example, I don't know when Casey and Susan are coming down, but typically they'll come down the backside and meet us out off the 40 someplace. Mm-hmm. So we just we'll plan that out.
They're not going to, They'd meet you out in Kelso or something if you get a late start.
Yeah, depending on when they go. So it's happening. I'm so excited. Can you hear? It's happening. We are doing this, and it's this weekend is the only time I'm gonna have to get everything ready is this weekend. So I'm gonna put it all together. You have the orange room.
I do. Yeah.
And you have my 2 camping chairs.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna bring those?
I guess.
Sweet.
The orange room sustained some excessive wear. I mean, it's not like torn or anything, but dude, it was getting beat up in the wind out Parker.
Yeah,
and because I remember telling you like, hey, this foot broke,
and I think one of the feet broke. Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, well, it's probably going to end up in the fire at the end of the weekend. But I still packed it up.
I have the Nexen Easy Up as well. Do we need 2 Easy Ups?
You know, it'd be cool.
Probably.
You think so? I mean, everybody. Oh, it's going to be hot as balls. It's going to be hot as balls. Yes, I looked at the weather today.
What is it going to be like?
I checked both, like Laughlin and Baker, because there's nowhere else to check. You know.
You can check Kelso.
Okay. Let me give you the rundown. Triple digits.
No.
Triple digits on either end. So if it's not triple digits in Kelso,
Holy shit.
that would shock the shit out of me. Mid 70s at night.
No,
I'm going to sleep in my truck with it running. AC going.
Oh, no way. So let's see here. AccuWeather, Kelso.
10-day forecast.
So it's 82 there right now. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Daily. It's 95 on Tuesday. Let's see, 24, 25, 28, yeah. 93 on Friday the 28th.
Bring the sunscreen.
That's in Kelso.
95, plenty of sunshine. 94, 92, 92. So 95, 94, 92. It's going to be up mid 90s. Balls. It's never been that hot. It's always been like ideal. 80s.
Yeah. All right. Well,
just makes it easy to pack. No jackets. It's
jackets.
Better than the winter expedition when you're packing your snowboard gear. Okay.
Yeah. Firewood just came up. Yeah. We need to. If everybody could bring like a little firewood, because it's difficult to load up, enough firewood, and we're gonna have a shit ton of people. So. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be because
like multiple fires or
little firewood.
a bundle or two. Like if you were to go to the grocery store and they sell those bundles, pick up 2 bundles at the grocery store. Everybody pick up 2 bundles.
Spend $10.
Yeah,
find some room. It's for entertainment. It's for entertainment later on at night,
dude. And for those of you that are new to the trip, I'm going to suggest that you get in.
Put the kids to bed early.
Picture the campfire like the movie The Purge. Like when the campfire turns on, go
that's
in
like
your tent.
That's like the siren to start.
Yes. When the campfire goes on, go into your tent, zip it up, and pretend to be as stone silent.
As soon as the sun drops beyond the horizon, that's a countdown. Baby.
Oh, Matt's. As soon as the sun goes down, Matt's going to pull his mask over his head.
I'll have a mohawk. Yeah. I didn't know Matt had a mohawk.
Yeah. If you're new to the trip, you need to be indoors at sunset.
Bring your own doors.
Shit, guys. This is like real as hell right now, and I am 100% not prepared for any of it.
I don't even know where I'm sleeping yet.
What?
I don't know if I'm going to sleep in my truck or if I'm going to buy a tent.
I have a tent if you don't want to buy one. I have my orange one. It's great for one person. That the only downside is you can't stand up in it. But
I have my little one. That we set up that one year you destroyed yours.
Which year?
Oh,
every
God.
year. Every year he's destroyed his.
No, I've had this tent a couple years now.
Okay.
It was last Mojave, I think. Whatever.
I don't know.
I just don't know if I'm going to buy a cot. If I don't know if I'm going to sleep in a tent, because if I am, then I got to buy a cot. One of those little cots.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I'll just sleep in my truck. Whatever.
Tim's offering his abode for you.
No. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good idea. Like
we can see how well that Overland Flagstaff truck is set up.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't know. You saw his post on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he's going to have to take the minivan at this point.
Well, I saw him changing the tire. I'm like, oh, so you're getting ready for Mojave Road.
Exactly. Exactly. So Matt, Rob made a good point. For the first timers, pre-cook your
pre-cook
and
is
freeze.
the move.
Yeah. He sent me. He was making his carne asada, pre-cooking it, and that's I have to talk to Tammy. I think because if you pre-cook it and freeze it, you throw it in the cooler. All you got to do is warm it up and throw it in some tortillas. I mean, it's a great idea. I just don't know.
Well, how are you going to warm it up? with your barbecue, right?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
why
dude,
just cook it on the barbecue?
it's a mess, bro. That year I took all that meat.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Where did you take
I'm
it?
all,
It's every year.
I'm all, Jose, oh, you're bringing carne asada? Cool. I can have some of your carne asada. And I'm thinking, oh, man, Jose probably knows the hookup. He's Mexican. He's probably got some, like, secret. He's probably got some secret shop somewhere, like, out in San Bernardino, that's, like, amazing. And then, so we started eating. I'm like, man, this carne asada is pretty good. Where's it from, Jose? Stater Brothers. Freaking
Not
Stater Brothers?
even Cardenas. Not even the Mexican
That
restaurant.
fucking sucks, bro. No.
No,
you
yeah,
don't want
not
that.
even Cardenas. It's
But,
the,
in his defense, Stater Brothers got pretty good carne
They got
asada.
good meat.
Yeah,
They got good meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quality meat.
Those bros have good meat.
So there's a whole conversation in the chat room about pre-cooked meat and what you're going to do with it. So I don't know. I got to talk to Tammy. I hope there's chili cheese Fritos at one night.
I shit my brain down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, knowing with Tammy, it's going to be Impossible Burgers and and
It's gonna be like earth friendly.
Earth friendly. ain't nothing friendly, earth friendly about Fritos and chili. That's not a damn thing.
definitely
man.
not a good environment in the tent. That's for sure.
You better hope the Ranger doesn't show up after that. Whatever that means.
All right. Well, shit. I'm so excited for the new people that are joining us. I mean, I
feel bad for him.
So this was to say. I think
we set expectations too high.
Well, there's some people that have been on many trips with us here that have
just still going.
Just have accepted the fact that they have gone down the pit of society and they belong with us. These new people, like, their spirits haven't been broken yet. They haven't, like, they're going to show up wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. They're going to think, oh, this is
Just
fantastic.
This is a professional organization.
Yes, and I guarantee at some point through the
I'm
trip,
gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it through this, no problem.
at some point through the trip, they're going to turn their radio off and go, I think we made a mistake. So when that happens, I want to talk to you.
When we take them on the whoop section,
Oh,
and
God.
that's when we batter them. Like,
And we say
There
everybody
it
has to
is.
keep up, and we just bomb through the whoop
Yes.
section. So anyways, all right, Mojave's happening. It is a week and a half from now. By the time you hear this, it's
be the night
8 days
before
away.
yeah.
It's 8 days before away. This will come out 1 week before we leave. So holy crap! Hold on to your butts, and we'll see you next week.
hang on to your butts. Whoa. Excuse you.
All right. Hey, everybody in the chat, thanks for
Dude, there's 25 people watching.
I'm sorry.
nice, and all of them are talking about
Pre-cooking food.
Yeah,
and
pre-prepared meat.
or Tim talking about his beard will keep you warm. That doesn't
It's
sound
it's gonna be hot as fuck out there. Dude. I don't need
the last thing you need.
Yeah.
What if he shows up without his beard?
Oh,
What if he shaves and gets a haircut and like?
Oh my God.
I'm Timothy.
and he shows up in like a suit.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
He needs to show up in a tracksuit.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted a tracksuit.
I know, me too.
Like
That's a pretty ballsy move, though.
yeah, but you got to pull it off, right? But it's like what's his name in the SNL skit? Ooh,
Yeah.
wee.
What's up with that?
What up with that? God, what's that guy's name? And
Keenan-
he starts dancing in the background.
Yeah, Sudeikis. Jason.
Yes,
he's the hype man. He was the hype
yes.
man for years. He was the hype man. I always think of Dude, Where's Your Car? Where Dude, Where's My
Yeah.
Car? Where Kusher and Stifler went and got the matching
Yes.
Adidas suits.
Yes.
We should all get matching orange Adidas suits for the trip.
I wouldn't want to ruin them out in the desert. I want to save them for special occasions, like when you go to dinner at Ruth's Chris.
Where the hell is that at?
Oh shit!
Ruth's Chris?
Yeah.
There's a couple.
There's one in Anaheim. There's one in Vegas.
Laguna.
Super freaking good, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
Dumb good. Dumb expensive, but dumb good.
it's like Fleming's. Fleming. That's a coin flip right there.
I've never been there.
Fleming's or
Yeah, any of those. I never been to a steakhouse. If Outback's a steakhouse, then I guess I've been to a steak.
Outback's like ground beef compared to Fleming's.
Fucking
or
delicious to me.
That's I'm telling you. You should try Ruth's Chris. It's like buttery deliciousness.
Yeah. All right, we don't need to talk about Ruth's Chris on the live feed, guys. Hey, everybody in the chat room: Tim, Casey, Perry, Rob.
What if they sponsored us?
Overland, true. Shy, Adam, John, Mark, everybody, Ed, everybody that's in here, Adrian.
That's when we know we've made it. Is when Ruth Chris helicopters dinner out to us in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Then. And only then.
Tim was making the comment that he thinks that the Outback really is going to show up.
It's the third time he's mentioned it tonight.
Yeah, that Outback is really going to show up, and they're going to be sadly disappointed. All right, we're going to end the live feed. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Laters.